Hello and welcome to GP Kaina City, second GP of Solstair GP, February 2026. I am I'm sorry I was unable to record most of last month's tournament. I got all the way to finals after my voice came out, but unfortunately was ended there by Nyx for a respectable finish at second. And I've brought back essentially the same deck for this month, and am playing right now against CatInTree, who is on red-white tokens. Let's see how this goes. I'll be on the draw, which, not great in the aggro matchup, or any other. And I think I mulligan this. Yeah, this has no removal. This has no removal, no sweepers, in a deck that has tons of both. So this is a mulligan. Yep, opponent's also mulliganing, which is nice to see. This has Elton, although it doesn't have double white to cast it. Overrule Sought on the draw and Path of Scales. I think on 6 I have to keep this, unfortunately. Putting back Path, I think. Opponent's mulligan to 5. I think I will keep my 6, especially if they're mulliganing. Makes it less likely they'll have a threat. Anything. Pascal is, of course, very important in this deck, but not so much in this matchup. I'll keep Elton even without double white, because it is quite strong. It is a very important match, and they have no one-drops. Their important one-drops are Matriarch and, where is it, Sparks Revolution. Very good for them not to have it, although it makes it very likely they're going to play 2 creatures next turn. Silent Lakefront. I think I just play this and get a Plains right now. Next turn I can leave up Overrule Sought for their turn 3 play. Discern can wait, I have Elton on. And the ability to Elton on 3 could be relevant. Alternate plan, shock in a land for Discern. I'd rather not do that. My life shuttle is precious. And grab one of my 2 planes. I am on same mono base as last month. Toward Path. Skyray Tender. Okay, that's pretty good against Elton. Or at very least, the 1/1 survives Elton. It's not, maybe it's not pretty good. Maybe it's acceptable. Island, leave up Overrule Sought, seems to be the play here. If they just play some tokens, I might just Discern, let the resolve Elton clear up the tokens. But I'm afraid of Consume the Divine. So, I'm going to be cautious. Now I wish I put back a Misty Peak. I'd love to have a Path of Scale in hand right now, but such is mulligans. Gonna need a hit for 3 this turn. That's just how it's gonna be. They don't have Consume the Divine. Because they would have played it pre-combat. Okay, and if they're giving me nothing to do, I'm going to Discern here. Do they have any instants? No, no instants, no creatures with flash, so this is just do nothing. Okay, I'm flooding out somewhat here. But I've drawn a Path of Scales, so that's very nice. Island, take my 3, leave up Overrule Sought. They have no 4s, right? They just literally had nothing in play. And they have triple white, so I'm actually not sure what that was, because they could cast any card in their deck from that position. Terminal Impact. That's a card that we're quite likely to have. I don't know if they'd fire off Terminal Impact my face from that position. Good. Island, go. I can flashback Discern. I can counter something they play. Those are my options here. Really depends on whether I want to Elton on. Lands, seeing they're quite likely to have many of in hand. This Overrule Sought me. I think I have to counter that. I can't Elton on it next turn, and it's going to discard all the useless cards they're clearly holding. There's no rush. I should try to stay above, like, 10-ish, because they could easily have double terminal in hand. Should be annoying. Countermeasures. I know I just said I was going to try to stay above 10, but I think I'm going to have to accept that if they have two terminal impacts, they're gonna be able to burn me down pretty quick because I need to play passive scales here and get out to a fast start. Passive scales countermeasures will then keep their board in check with the second level of passive scales. I'll go to 12, then 9. They'll need both terminal impacts to get me. And they have two cards in hand, so not ideal. Shocking Misty Peak, Shocking Lucent Basin. Interesting choice. I do need double red. I need red and double white pretty soon. Probably I need red. I am more likely to need double white next turn. Hopefully I just draw an untapped land of the other color, although that's unlikely. I don't have many untapped lands. I go passive scales. Next turn, what? They terminal me. Passive scales, I shock in 12. 9. Land terminal me down to 4. At that point, I'm dead to terminal either way, so countermeasures, surely, is more important. Terminal's scary. Offset Demon would be an excellent card to find pretty soon. But I could certainly lose this. Skyward Tender has really done the necessary work here. More Shocklands, although Uku's Chrysaris is very welcome. That's life gain that could dig me out of this hole next turn. And I can do like countermeasure passive scales, Uku's both two of their creatures to kind of really stabilize very quickly. Well, that's 7 in hand. Don't need to do anything else. They have no removal that I care about. They have 2 Casus Belly. Now they play Anomaly. That's okay. Just go to Ruins Awaken. Sure. It's slightly hard for them to flash that back, actually. Importantly, they can't put a counter on both of these. Important question, which one do you put the counter on? They choose the Skyray Tender. One, two, three, 4, down to 8. Oh, and now they get the Ruins Awaken. Okay. Well, my play is actually pretty straightforward here. This is countermeasure is passive scales, then Uku's 2 of their creatures, for which I will need more red mana. Misty Peak will do that. Yeah. Killing Anomaly and Skyray Tender. Leaves them with the tokens. I'll take 2, gain 4, going up to 12, with them left with 3 on board. Reasonably safe here. Countermeasures passive scales. Right, sorry, leaves them with 1 on board, passive scales. The second mode, not often relevant against control, but relevant here. Boom, boom. Excellent. Now I feel in fine spirits. Eltanon can clear up all of their permanents next turn if I need it to. Offset Demon can start gaining me life. They loot away a Matriarch. Attack me for 1. Yeah, I'm now trying to solidify my position against Terminal Impact. Yep. I strongly expect that last card in head is Terminal Impact. And I want to get ahead of it. I think this is just Offset Demon Stargazing tapped Lucent Basin. Killing their permanents is less important than not taking the 2. We can start with Stargazing. Stargazing. Copy first. Look at my top one. Lucent Basin. Don't need that. Draw. Don't discard. I can't return the copy to hand anyways. Then the real one. Lucent Basin. Nope, don't want that either. Draw. And now I will choose to discard this Misty Peak to put Stargazing in my hand. Then tap Lucent Basin. Offset Demon. Which needs its token attached. Whoops. And now I think the game is quite locked up. Well, it doesn't really matter. They can never remove this, but sure, let's attach it to B just for fun. And attack opponent for 3. 9. The most they can do is 6 off a terminal. Plus 1 is only 7. Theoretically, they could do 8. Theoretically, they could do 8 if they had... Do they have a burn spell other than terminal? No, they don't. Okay. Yeah. They might have... Okay, they might have a third terminal in hand, which I should be thinking about. Clarion, interesting. Can I survive? Can I protect myself from that? Go to 6. Destroy all of their permanents with Eltanon. Exile them, rather. Then they would need untapped land plus terminal as their last draw. Just as easily I could present a blocker for the fish token. Let's Stargazing first. If I find Uku's Crusaris, that makes things simpler. Unfortunately, lifelink does not stack. Stargazing. Scry 1, Clarion. No. Draw. Windbeaten Stones. Scry 1, Clash. No. Lakefront. Lakefront can't counter terminal input, but it can target it. Discard. Stones, I believe. No. Mountain. Yeah. Play tapped stones. I can target terminal impact. It won't counter it, but I'll still gain 3 life. I go to 6, they can hit me down to 5. And then what? They can kill me if they find the 4th terminal? Gonna have to live with that, I think. So yes. They don't need the untapped land, but they can't but I always survive this. Do they have the 3rd terminal? Okay, if they have the 4th terminal impact, that was the first 3, then I guess we could be in trouble. So I would like to find another Uku's Crusaris. That's the relevant card here. Well, let's go looking. There it is. Draw. Okay, now I'm actually completely safe. Draw and discard. At this point, Clash at Oris Cross. put this in hand and do this right away before anything weird happens. There we go. That makes me safe. Important to leave them creatures so I have targets for this. There. And now they have their only burn spell left is Terminal, which of course they are not going to be able to play. And they have no outs. Discard Consume the Divine, which would be actually medium annoying. Skyray. Okay. End step. Seafloor twice. 2. Silent Lakefront, I guess. Other to graveyard. Wait. Then I have to do that again. Right, because I get 2 of them. I'll get a Chart the Cosmos, sure. Path of Fissures. And then I'll just flash back a Discern, I guess. Untap, draw. I have so many cards. That was touch and go, but remembering the hidden mode on Silent Lakefront got me there. It does not even remotely matter what I do now because I have an unbelievable number of cards. Like I could draw more cards. And I will, because I enjoy doing such things as these. Let's chart the Cosmos, I guess. They have no instants, so... Oh, there's an offset demon. I should have done that first. Doesn't matter. The game is over. But I will play that offset demon just for fun. And put it on A. Who knows? Who cares? Go to end step, discard Deafening Clarion, and back up Elton on Who, and who cares? Okay, yeah, they held out longer than I would have. In their sideboard, they have 4 virtualized automatics, will certainly come in. Maybe they'll bring in Crucible. I'm not that graveyard focused. Other than that, yeah, I think it's just the automatics. To which end, I have 3 shocks, which are nice, and 2 Fateful Offense, and maybe a Golden Bloom for their enchantments. For Consume the Divine, particularly, is the card I would name. I can trim Stargazing and Seafloor, the slower card draw spells. I am on the draw, so I'll trim Overrule Sought. I can trim Passive Scale, I don't want to draw too many of those, and Mistrit Veil, not that relevant. They will be on the play for game 2, and I'm looking at a hand that has 5 lands, and Ukrus, Chrysaris, and Passive Scales. Opponent has Mulligan, and I'm on the draw. I do like keeping land-heavy hands in control decks, as a rule. But I think I can probably do better than this. Their deck is... They mull to 6. Their deck can be reasonably fast. There's a lot of things where Ukrus Chrysaris is not a good play. I'll keep 7 on the grounds. This matchup is good, and I shouldn't... This hand is maybe acceptable. If they play Kitsune Matriarch, I'll be glad to have an answer to it. But they play nothing. It means they're probably going to play 2 creatures next turn. Mistrit Veil? Okay. Lucent Basin, Mountain, Primal Fissure for Island Plains, and that'll get me all my spells on curve. Sounds good. Woof! Woof! They brought in the shock. Wow, that was unexpected. I have 0 targets for that. That's just 2 damage to face. They have a Radiant Pilgrim, and they do not have another land. Well, this, I think, will be a short and unhappy game for them. Mountain, this is an instant. There's no need to do this right now. Although I will do it. If they just attack with this, don't play anything, I will just Ukus it. Okay, land. Don't play things pre-combat. Oh no, if it's Sky Retainer, they do have to. For Radiant Pilgrim value. Let me think about it. The two, do I care more about the 2/1 flyer or the Radiant Pilgrim? They're both 2/1s, but one of them has flying, meaning it won't get stonewalled by my Clash of Mystery Veil tokens, while the other one is going to deal 3 damage to me this turn if I don't kill it. So I could be at 18 and they have the only. I could be at 18 but they have only ground creatures. Or I could be at 21 but they have a flyer. I think the ways that they become dangerous mostly don't care about my blocker, so I'm going to do it this way. Also, I like them having tokens. Well, not like that, because Eltanon is an ever-present concern. Oh, hi, Deafening Clarion. I don't see a particular need to do that right now. Primal Fissure for Island. And slow play, Clash at Mystery Veil. It seems likely I'll pull the triggers on a Deafening Clarion this following turn. The card I'm hoping not to see is Consume the Divine, which they didn't have. Down to 18. It's Onomastic. Ooh, naming Deafening Clarion? Or Eltanon? Or not Eltanon, Path of Stillness. Clarion. Okay, okay. That's good. It's the right name. Eltanon. Overrule thought. I think I will just have to pass the scales here, and then I won't have to discard the hand size. I'll get a 1/1 blocker. And, like, if they don't have consume or a way to cast it, I'll be safe for quite a while. 5. There's Eltanon. Okay. 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 Well, that shall probably be the game unless something very weird happens, because next time I get to Eltanon X equals 3, and that will destroy all of their all of their non-land permanents, unless they do something really specific, like second virtualize Onomastic. Even that's not that great, because I can still countermeasures, passive scales, into just I have lots of options. And I'm chump blocking this turn, because this soldier is not long for this world. Shock. Goodness. Can't imagine bringing in Shock is a good idea. I guess I have these soldier tokens. Yeah, what happened this game is that they didn't have a 1-drop on one. If they had, like, um, their Sparks of Revolution, or if they had their, especially Kitsune Matriarch, then this would be much more threatening to me. Jump. That should be a bad sign for them. Not that they have other options. Naming Eltonon or Clashador's Cross. Not Eltonon. Path of Stillness. Countermeasures. Ooh, I'm afraid. Oh, they're worried about countermeasures on Path of Scales. Definitely a thing to be concerned about, but unfortunately they have guessed incorrectly. And now they will lose. Eltonon X equals 2 will just exile all of their permanents. And then I will follow it up with a Discern. Sounds like a plan. To be fair, if they didn't name countermeasures, that would have been bad for them too. CatInTree says that aggro cannot win if they draw 5 impacts, and it's difficult because they only get 4. That was unfortunately how I expected that matchup to go. I am as always well prepared for aggro. And even like the sweepers weren't the main thing. I think their draws were just a little slow, and I had my life gain and my removal for their important creatures. CatInTree says something has to change in the format. A sentiment to which I am sympathetic. Something should change in the format after I win this GP. Well, a swift match, and good night.